can Republicans pass on immigration?
Good question. I guess we'll find out today in the House. But I think that if what we ought to be able to pass, if nothing else, Bill, in the Senate is something that does codify the president's executive order so we can address this issue of keeping families together. If the Democrats are sincere that they want to see that happen, they would be willing to work with us to fashion a solution to at least address that issue. The broader immigration debate, which is parts of which are being addressed in the House legislation today, and we had that debate in the Senate a few weeks or a few months back. Nothing passed. We spent a week on the floor. People had an opportunity to offer amendments, and we couldn't get a consensus. But that doesn't mean if the House is able to pass something and they send it to the Senate that we wouldn't look at it. We'll certainly take a look at it and see if it's something we can pass and that the president would sign.
Senator, what's the mood there this morning? This has been a huge week, and we know things got tense on the House floor, and this has been a debate that has spread across the country. Emotions are high. What do you sense is the mood around there this morning?
I think the mood here, Sandra, is one of, at least among our conferences, we need to solve this. We need to get something in place that addresses this issue of allowing families to stay together, but we also need to address the issue of enforcing our laws. I mean, this is an issue, and what we're seeing today is a byproduct of a broken immigration system that has been crying out for a solution for a long time. And one of the solutions, obviously, to that is to build the wall, build the border wall, and to prevent people from coming into this country illegally. And the Democrats have been unwilling to do that. They consistently talk about immigration reform, but to them that means, at least in this current circumstance that we're talking about, catch and release. They're very much in favor of an open borders policy, and we think the American people believe otherwise. I don't know if I always hear it attributed to Ronald Reagan, but used to say that a country that can't control its borders can't control its destiny, and I think we have to get control of this situation, and that entails having the security at the border that's necessary to help address and solve the problem, and that's what the president's been asking for and what the Democrats have been unwilling to give him.
Well, you talk as if this is an opportunity, and you're probably right about that. But with an election less than 5 months away, do you feel the need to get something done? Or do you think you can fight to live another day if you let this moment pass?
Well, I think there's always another day, obviously, but every day that goes by and we don't fix the problem continues to worsen. I think the near-term issue here that we're dealing with just this week that the president's executive order addressed yesterday is something that there ought to be bipartisan agreement on in the House and the Senate to fix. And so my hope would be, at least, Bill, that as this issue is debated, that there would be a consensus, a bipartisan consensus, that we need to address this. My guess is, however, that because it is an even-numbered year, and Democrats always view this as a potent political weapon, that they will choose rather to have the issue than to have a solution. That would be the way I would predict it would come out.
President Trump is asking a question on Twitter a short time ago this morning that perhaps Senator Thune you can address. He says, what is the purpose of the House doing good immigration bills when you need 9 votes by Democrats in the Senate? And the Dems are only looking to obstruct, which they feel is good for them in the midterms. Republicans must get rid of the stupid filibuster rule. It is killing you.
Well, the president is right about one point, and that is the Democrats' goal is to obstruct. I think they think it's to their political advantage as we head into the midterm elections. But you got to think about this the other way. If, God forbid, they were able to win the Senate in November, and they could pass whatever they want at 51 votes, we would have a very porous open borders immigration policy. So the 60-vote threshold protects Republicans more times historically than it does Democrats. But I understand his frustration. We share it too. But it's why we need to have some Democrats who are willing to do the right thing for our country and not just the political thing in the middle of an election year.
We have a reverse, of course, of what the federal position is now about keeping families together and at what point, how we do that. Do you think what you went through over the past week was a big blow to you and others in your party? Was it a blow to the president? How do you sort through that now?
No, I don't think so, Bill, because the president responded. And like I said, I mean, I think as a zero-tolerance policy, and the president made it very clear, this shouldn't surprise anybody, he ran his campaign on enforcing our laws and securing our borders and dealing with the issue of sort of runaway illegal immigration. And so in his attempts to do that, obviously, this was something that came out of it, but which he quickly addressed. And we were very quick to recognize it as well and to acknowledge that we've got to have a policy that enforces our laws, but that also allows families to stay together. And so there was consensus up here to do that. The president stepped in and I think did the right thing. And so I don't know. This is something that I don't think has any lasting effect.
Yeah, well, a lot of people are trying to predict what is next in this battle. Maybe you could do that for us.
Well, I think in the near term, what my hope would be, the next step in the battle, Sandra, is let's codify the president's executive order so we don't have to go to court and worry about what's going to happen in the way of litigation that creates more uncertainty around this issue. The Flores settlement decision back in 1997 sort of governs the way this issue can be treated now, and it seems to me at least that Congress, the only way that you can change that or get away from the uncertainty around this issue is for Congress to act. So the president, I think, did the right thing and addressed it in the near term. It's up to us now to try and fix this long term. And I hope there'll be Democrats that are willing to do that.
Yeah, you think you can get enough votes to codify the executive order? That's about as much ground as you have given so far.
We'll see. I mean, like I said, there's going to be a real test of whether the Democrats are serious about trying to solve this issue and solve a problem, or whether they would rather have the political issue. And I think that's going to be, we'll find out here soon enough.
When's the last time you talked to the president, Senator?
I haven't talked to him this week.
Yeah.
It's been a while, but yeah.
Yeah, just
but he stays in constant contact with us, as you know, Sandra, through his Twitter account.
Yeah. All right. Well, it is a big week indeed, sir, and we thank you for your time, Senator.
Thank you. Good to be with you.